Have you ever experienced this? You set yourself some goals, especially around New Year's, promising to develop some new good habits and break the old bad ones. But sadly, you always end up failing to keep the promises. You feel frustrated and find it really hard to be the person you want to be. If this sounds similar, then this video is for you. Welcome to the first episode of our brand new series, The Growth Guide on Englishtopia. In this series, we'll be sharing tips to help you grow as a person and guide you to become the best version of yourself. We'll also be teaching you some useful vocabulary along the way. Today, we're kicking things off by chatting about habits. When talking about habits, there's no way not to mention the book, Atomic Habits. The author, James Clear, is a writer and speaker focused on habits. His book is a New York Times bestseller and has sold over 20 million copies worldwide. We'll refer to this book to address the questions regarding habits. By the end of this video, you'll know how habits are formed, how to build good habits, and how to break bad habits. Habits are incredibly powerful as they shape who we are. Small changes in our habits can make a big difference in our lives over time. Success comes from good daily habits, not a single big change. As James Clear said, if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Now, let's take a look at the first question. According to Clear, the secret of forming habits lies in the system. The process of building a habit involves 4 simple steps. Cue, craving, response, and reward. This is called the habit loop. The first step is the cue. It's a signal for someone to do something. A cue can be anything: an object, a smell, a sound, or a feeling. And it triggers a craving, which is the second step of the loop. A craving refers to a strong feeling of wanting something. It causes you to give a response, which is the third step. A response is the action you take to get a reward. A reward is the goal of every habit. It satisfies your craving, and it can gradually connect with the cue. It forms an endless cycle. The more you repeat these habit loops, the stronger and more automatic they become. Let's explain this further with a real-life example. Whenever you feel stuck at work, you check social media. Here's how the habit forms. Cue. You feel stuck at work. Your bad feeling triggers a craving. That is, you want to get rid of your frustration. Your craving causes you to give a response by taking an action, checking your social media. After that, you get the reward. You satisfy your craving to feel relieved. As time passes, checking social media becomes tied to feeling stuck at work. Now that we understand how habits are formed, let's move on to applying the 4 key steps to build a habit. To give you a better picture, I'll explain it with an example. How to make exercise a habit. First step, make the cue obvious. Remember, each habit starts with the cue. To develop a habit, we need to make the cue obvious in order to trigger us to do something. There are 3 ways to do so. First, be specific about your plan. When you plan to change, specify what action you want to do, at what time, and at what location. For example, instead of saying, "I'll exercise more," try saying, "Tomorrow, I'll do 20 push-ups at 5 p.m. in the living room." The more detailed you are, the more likely you are to take action. Another good way to build new habits is to link them to existing ones. In other words, try adding a new habit right after an existing habit using this formula. After existing habit, I will new habit. For example, after brushing my teeth, I'll do push-ups for 30 seconds. Make sure the existing habit is something you do automatically every day. This chain of habits is more likely to be continued if you keep practicing it. The third way to start a habit is to redesign your environment to make it easier to see the cues. If you want to exercise more, place the exercise mat and dumbbells somewhere you can see them. Don't hide them away in a closet. If you can always see the cue, you're more likely to exercise. Once the cue is obvious, the next step is to make the craving more attractive. The more attractive the craving, the more you want it, and it increases the chances of taking action. The first strategy is known as temptation bundling. It means to combine an action you need to do with the one you want to do. For example, combine exercising, which is something you need to do, with watching YouTube, which is something you enjoy doing. The second strategy is called group influence. We're easily affected by people around us. If you want to build a new habit, join a group where that habit is common. For instance, if you want to do more exercise, be around those who love to exercise, such as joining a running club or a gym class. The third strategy is to tell your brain to enjoy hard habits. Focus on the benefits of a habit rather than its drawbacks. For example, think of exercising as a way to improve your health rather than viewing it as a tiring activity or a waste of time. Now, let's move on to the third step. Make the response easy. Habits are more likely to happen when they're easy to perform. When an action increases in frequency, it leads to habit formation. You may try the strategy called the 2-minute rule. Start with a habit that takes no more than 2 minutes. For instance, instead of exercising for 30 minutes, scale down the time to 2 minutes. The focus here is on forming a habit and making it a part of your daily routine. How much time you spend is not important. Repeat each day until it becomes automatic. From there, you can increase the amount of time bit by bit to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. Here comes the last step. Make the reward satisfying. The first 3 steps increase your chances of doing the habit this time. The last step increases your chances of repeating the habit next time. If you feel happy after doing something, your brain will learn that the behavior is worth repeating. What you can do is to give yourself an immediate reward. For example, knowing how many calories you burn after exercising is an immediate reward. You can also visualize your progress, such as putting a coin in a jar every time you do a workout. Seeing the jar fill up can give you a sense of satisfaction. So, this is how good habits are developed. Make the cue obvious. Make the craving attractive. Make the response easy. And make the reward satisfying. Similarly, we can apply the same system to break bad habits, but in the opposite way. Let's say you'd like to stop the habit of spending too much time on social media. First step, make the cue hard to notice. The easiest way to do so is to turn off notifications, as they're the cues that trigger you to do the action. Second step, make the craving unattractive. Connect the bad habit with something negative. Tell yourself that scrolling through Instagram is meaningless and a waste of time. Third step, make the response difficult. Try making the action of checking social media as difficult as possible. For example, lock your phone or tablet in the drawer. Final step, make the reward unsatisfying. You may ask your friends, family members, or partner to help you with this. For example, if they see you scrolling through Instagram, you need to pay them $10. To sum up, the habit loop, which involves cue, craving, response, and reward, is the key to habit formation. To build good habits, make the cues obvious, the cravings attractive, the responses easy, and the rewards satisfying. Conversely, if you want to break bad habits, make the cues invisible, the cravings unattractive, the responses difficult, and the rewards unsatisfying. Lastly, let's take a look at some new words in today's episode. Frustrated. When someone is frustrated, they feel upset as they can't do what they want. Cue. It refers to a signal for someone to do something. Craving. It's a strong feeling of wanting something. Trigger. It means to cause something to start. Satisfy. It means to make someone feel happy by doing what they want. Specific. It refers to something that is detailed and exact. Strategy. It refers to a planned series of actions for completing something. Temptation. It means wanting to do or have something that you know you shouldn't. Drawback. It refers to the negative part of something. Visualize. It means to form a picture of somebody or something in your mind. That's all for today. Remember, small changes can lead to dramatic transformations. Thanks for tuning in to the Growth Guide. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to watch our other videos. See you next time!
If you like our video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time!